This is Shelley Kraft coming to you live on SNNLive. We're at the LD Micro Invitational 2015 in Bel Air, California. I have Frank Jaksch, ChromaDex. It's a publicly traded company, and the symbol is CDXC. Frank, welcome to SNNLive.
Thank you for having me, Shelley.
It's good to have you. Let's get into it. Give us an overview on the company.
So ChromaDex is a novel ingredient technology company that has been around for 15 years, but we've only been in the ingredient space now for about probably 5 years. So we're founded based on having a phytochemical business as well as a laboratory service business that built up our expertise as a natural products chemistry business. And we have several thousand customers all over the world. We have marquee customers like Pepsi, Kraft, Coca-Cola, and a lot of different universities. And what we've been doing is leveraging information flow in the form of market intelligence that we get from this 15-year-old business in essentially licensing valuable intellectual property from universities. And we take a very guided approach to that, and I think a lot of people now appreciate the model that we put together, which essentially is licensing valuable intellectual property. We pay very little for it up front, $25,000, $50,000 upfront payment to license, small single-digit royalty, and 5 years ago we rolled out our first ingredient brand essentially based on that licensed technology. One of them that we're highlighting today is Niagen, which is the last ingredient that we rolled out, which is a compound called nicotinamide riboside, which came to us through that model, licensed technology, and generating millions in revenue now with that, and it's probably the biggest growth driver that we have.
Who's the smart guy that figured this out?
I was the one who figured it out. So my background actually is chemistry. I started as a chemistry-based company, but the goal from the beginning, our original business plan was exactly that, was to focus essentially on trying to use a small business to garner or find or use information that comes from that business to find something more valuable to create essentially a billion-dollar company, and we've been executing on that now more so over the past couple of years. So.
Okay. So give me an example, and at least tell me what you can, about how what you find and turn around and sell to a Pepsi, how does that work? Like, get specific as you can.
So we sell these compounds out of our catalog to universities. And when they come back and buy more of it, we start asking questions. And so we start monitoring this stuff. I'll give you an example as a case study. In 2006, we became aware of this compound, nicotinamide riboside, which is now our Niagen ingredient. And Cornell called us and said, hey, can you guys sell more of this? We need more of it for stuff. What are you doing with it? Okay. Well, in 2008, they gave us a formal presentation and said, look, you got to take a look at this. This is really cool. And we're like, okay, we'll take a look at it. 2009, we made a decision, okay, this is something we should look at. 2010, we started licensing. 2011, we licensed the patents from them. And then we licensed 2 other suites of patents in 2012 and also in 2013 and rolled the ingredient formally in 2013. So we had a guided approach to getting that intellectual property, but we're picking up stuff that we know will have an interest to Pepsi or Kraft or Nestle or an Abbott or any of these guys, largely because we're following the information flow about what they're interested in. So again, that strategic approach is how we find something that's going to be of interest to those types of guys. What they want it for is they want clean, green, natural, sustainable is the hot thing, okay? And substitution of legacy ingredients is a big deal. They're looking to eliminate preservatives and sweeteners and all these things that have a negative perception, okay, are being removed from products, and they're trying to substitute things that have health benefits, okay?
Keep the taste or make the taste better. So let me tell you what I think. You're like an IP company, you're a tech transfer company, you're commercializing IP all in one. I mean, you're doing so much due diligence as to who's using your ingredients that it gives rise to introductions to other products that you could take, transfer, and commercialize, and that's how you get the portfolios from the universities. Did I summarize it?
That's basically it.
So where do you go from here?
So, I mean, last year was an inflection year for us. Our revenue growth last year was substantial. We ended the year at like 15.3 million. First quarter, we already started off with a bang. We're on our 4th consecutive quarter of record revenue. We had 5.3 million in the first quarter. So we're tracking towards significant revenue growth. Actually, all of our businesses last year were strong, or last quarter were strong. And then we expect that trend to continue. So the revenue growth inflection point sort of hit last year. We expect that to go. But important from a catalyst standpoint for us is really that the science keeps publishing. The more the science publishes about the ingredients that we've licensed, the more media attention it gets. The more media attention, the more consumer awareness. The higher the level of consumer awareness, the higher the potential revenues for us.
So you don't do you tweak the patent to extend life? I mean, I'm just trying to get to the final chapter here.
So, no, I mean, we don't have to. I mean, a lot of the patents we license are strong. Yes, we add additional intellectual property to shore these things up over time. There's no doubt that we do that. But in reality, we're licensing these things so early, we get full life. A lot of the patents when we license, they haven't even been issued yet. Okay, so a lot of them are now issuing. So we're going to get full, say, 20-year life out of a patent. So we're not worried about that aspect of it. More of it is really building awareness to that ingredient so that it becomes like an omega-3 fatty acid. Omega-3 fatty acids are ubiquitous. Most people know that. They might even know why they take it, right? But they know that I need to take that. That's that fish oil stuff, right? Well, it's the same thing with the type of stuff that we have, is that the higher the level of awareness, the higher the value, the more likely it's going to appear in milk or orange juice or cereal. And that's really where you start making money off of an ingredient, monetizing it in that way.
So for more information, I want to give your website out to our audience.
It's www.chromadex.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, Frank Jaksch, ChromaDex, publicly traded company CDXC. I'm Shelly Kraft. This is SNNLive. We're coming to you from the LD Micro Invitational 2015 here in Bel Air, California. Frank, I want to thank you for coming on to SNNLive. You're welcome.